You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Eagles, Cardinals. What was that? Sunday? New Year's Eve. You're getting ready to go. Ring in the new year. And the only good thing about the game happening on New Year's Eve is that you could leave that filthy, disgusting display of football back in the old year. And now we are into the new year. New Eagles, new me, new us. You know the vibes. I'm just trying to make myself feel better. 35-31. The Cardinals have a field day on the Eagles defense, 449 yards. We only pick up 275 yards of offense as well. We had a pick six at one point with Sidney Brown. But honestly, nice. Ty, what this game overall came down to was the fact that the Cardinals picked up 32 first downs. I don't know if I've ever seen that many first downs in a game. That was this close, and they just absolutely dominated time of possession, 39, basically 40 minutes with the time of possession, but they didn't punt. Ty, I mean, really, what can you really say about this game other than the fact that this was an embarrassment for the defense? The offense completely let us down as well with, the draw, timeout, slip screen sort of thing to Kenny Gainwell that rolls Devontae Smith's ankle up, now in a boot. Now in crutches, we're going to find out. I'm sure he'll sit out this week, which he probably should. I think the Eagles should win this game this weekend, but they should have won this game this past weekend.
Yeah, so you said they had 32 first downs. The Bills had 29 against us a couple weeks ago, or more than a couple weeks ago. But where do we get started? I mean, they bring in James Conner's doing whatever he wants against us. Kyler Murray was pretty much finding whoever he could find. At times it was most times it was Greg George. Greg George caught 7 passes on 7 targets for 82 yards. He has all year. He has 22 catches, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns. Most of his production this year, a good chunk of it came against us. That's crazy. Trey McBride kind of held him in check. He's awesome. He's had a pretty good year. 648 on 7 targets, but it's just notable. Michael Wilson, 435, a touchdown, huge touchdown, game-winning touchdown on I forget who that was at corner, but on 6 targets. Rondale Moore had a couple catches. Elijah Higgins had a couple big catches. Imari DiMercado had a 9-yard reception. Yeah, just things like that. Just big chunk, not even big chunk plays, but chunk plays. We're not getting tackles for losses. We're not holding guys. We're not stuffing them and forcing a 3rd and long. Most of the 3rd downs that we give up are 3rd and 5, 6, 7, 4, 3, 2. So we're already putting ourselves against the wall, and the wall's just caving in on us because these guys just don't know how to get a stop. It's not bend but don't break. It's bend and break. It seems like. Then you got Michael Carter coming in the game. He just starts running all over us, man. It's Shaq Leonard. Linebackers are hitting the wrong holes. D linemen can't disengage from blocks, and now you're asking safeties and cornerbacks to provide the first and last line of defense. That's just there's so much pressure on every single player because the guy next to them or in front of them or behind them is fucking up. So, we don't really have a leader. We don't have a quarterback of defense. I mean, it was supposed to be Nakobe Dean to start the year, and he's been hurt every week. Zach Cunningham filled in very well, then he gets hurt. Nick Morrow's, he's being asked to do a fucking lot. And it's worked sometimes and it hasn't worked sometimes. So I'm not really mad at him. I'm not mad at Ben Van Sumeren at all. I'm not really even mad at Shaq Leonard. The guy was, the Colts got rid of him for a reason. And that was one of the better players in franchise history, one of the biggest fan favorites of that franchise. Yeah. His wife and Darius Slay's wife would probably also get along very well. So Kyler Murray completing pretty much every pass. Sidney Brown looking like his brother Chase with that run back. That was nice.
Yeah, dude. I mean, talk about turning the afterburners on. I mean, that guy was flying.
Making cuts, 80 yards upfield. It's impressive, man. Him and Chase Brown, the running back on the Bengals from Illinois, two very solid players, 2 solid athletes. I'm a big fan of both of those guys. Offense just couldn't really get moving, couldn't really get humming. Jalen Hurts didn't do anything wrong. I don't think he did throw a pick, but he played one of his better games. Pro Football Focus gave him, I think, a 91 overall grade. Nobody else did anything. I mean, Julio was the next biggest bright spot. The O-line looked pretty good, I guess. I mean, I don't think Jalen got sacked once. Kenny Gainwell completed a nice little pass, but we couldn't get the run game going with Jalen or DeAndre. Like I said, Devontae had 3 for 30, AJ had 4 for 53. The play calling again was just pathetic.
Yeah.
The pass rush was not there. The coverage, the coverage in general at any point on the field is just not working. Avonte Maddox, Eli Ricks, Keely Ringo, some of these guys play well for a little bit, but then the more they play, the more they're going to get exposed. Cliff Kingsbury is still running the Cardinals, right? So,
no, he's not.
Or he's not. I didn't think so. Okay, I said that. I was like, he's definitely been fired a couple of years.
Yo, you had me confused. No, Jonathan Gannon, brother.
There you go. What the fuck? So the fact that makes it so much worse. Like, we pissed on this guy's grave. We shit all over Jonathan Gannon. We're like, yeah, Arizona, congrats, bro. Good luck with him.
Thank you for taking him.
They had such a bad season that we're like, you know what? Shane Steichen's doing well, but at least Jonathan Gannon's not. Jonathan Gannon comes into Philly and beats us easily, absolutely torches us with his roster of just mid, at the very being generous, calling them mid because they've had a rough year.
Trash.
And so they're not trying to lose, but they definitely want to. It's definitely in their best interest to do that. But and he beats us, so he gets the last laugh. He gets the final word. I can't even be mad at him because I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at this whole organization, this whole team. I do like how Jalen, AJ, they're all kind of sticking up for the coaches. They're like, no, it's not the coach's fault. Nick Sirianni stood up for the receivers, or he stood up for us. So it's not on them, it's on us. It's on everybody, honestly. Yeah. It's on every single person, top to bottom. Jason Kelsey, AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, Sua Opeta, anybody. They can all get blame.
Howie Roseman.
Especially Howie Roseman. And especially the coaches, the entire coaching staff, the support staff mainly. And, who do you blame for putting that staff together? Nick Sirianni, or I guess Howie Roseman, like you said. So plenty of blame to go around. I'm not sure who to give it to mainly, so I'm just going to equally spread it around.
I think everyone deserves it. You're right. There's not really one person that you can point to. That would be the easy fix, right? That would be the thing that we could go, all right, yeah, just get rid of Brian Johnson and we'll be fine. Well, I obviously Brian Johnson's not doing his job well, but if you get rid of him, that doesn't change the fact that the offense just gave up 450 yards on, or the defense. They just gave up 450 yards like that. That doesn't fix that. That doesn't, if you get rid of Patricia or whatever, that doesn't fix the fact that our play calling has been trash all season long, and that we were running QB draws with our $250 million quarterback, and we're running these bubble screens and these screens all season long, like we have a Florida State backup quarterback playing for us. Like that's not. We have a elite quarterback, a guy who came in second in the MVP voting last year. Like I will never understand not letting him go, letting him loose. It's the play calling has been horrible, and I think it's not just it's at the point of this season where it's not just the play calling, it's also whoever's drawing up this offense, and Sirianni has taken responsibility for that. Now I don't know if that's accurate because we'll talk about it in a little bit that maybe he kind of takes the blame for things that really aren't his fault necessarily, but at the end of the day, it comes back to him. If he thinks that the offense isn't being run correctly or that the play calling is bad, then he needs to step in and take care of it himself because he is the head coach. He needs to do something.
Like I've noticed that on Pro Football Focus, our O linemen, our run blocking grades, our guys aren't grading as highly as they used to.
Yeah,
like last year. So that tells me that sure, maybe these guys are getting a little bit older, but something must be changing with the scheme that. Guys, it's kind of like a square peg, round hole, or round peg, square hole, whatever it is. It's just not. It's not working. It's not really coming together the way it should be. Also, we're at the end of the year. We're in week 18 now, right? Is that it?
Yeah, about to be. Yeah,
so it's people. Most of this like midway through the season when we started to kind of go through struggles, but we were winning. People are like, you know what? We're going to figure it out. This team's been together for a while. Like. So many leaders. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make some stops on third down on defense. We're going to start running for 150 plus. We're not doing that. Like the very opposite has happened. We're getting gashed on the ground. And then on third downs when teams need a first down, like Kyler Murray was getting that ball out very quickly.
Yeah.
So in one sense, I want to be like, the pass rush stinks. It's not there, which is true. But also, like, there's no resistance in the secondary at all. We're in the middle of the field at all. And then if you look at the offense isn't going over the middle of the field. They're just doing short outside routes. So it's kind of crazy how the offense and defense are mirroring each other in different ways, oddly enough. It's just not work. It's not working. I mean, honestly, the MVP of this season is Jake Elliott. So
seriously,
I don't know where we go from here. If we go into Tampa thinking shit's sweet, like they have some weapons, man. Rashad White, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield. For most of the season, been playing really well. They have some guys on defense. Like that's not a pushover team. Like I keep seeing people say, "Oh,
they're not the team that we played early in the season." Like they got better, we got worse.
Yeah, like people keep saying, "You know what? Yeah, we'll take the Rams. We'll take the Rams." I'm like, "Yeah, you'll take Puka Nacua because he's gonna have 250 yards on us." Shout out to Tyler Higbee's sister, but Michelle. Just to give a quick shout out to my girl, but I don't want to play the Rams. I don't want to play anybody, bro. We can't beat the Cardinals at home.
Yeah,
at home. So home, away, none of that really matters to me. I don't really care who we play. Honestly, me and you, other Eagles fans, when the playoffs are coming, we're like, all right, we're doing mock scenarios on who we want to play. We're making sure we can get every scenario out there just to see who we can get and hope we get them or hope we don't get them. I'm at the point where I'm like, I just don't care. Like, people keep telling me, Tampa, Philly and Tampa, playoff game, are you going? Like, no, I am not going to see that team just be pathetic and not even really, probably not win. So
embarrass us. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, especially like living in Philly. Like I told you, like a couple friends are hey, game might be in Tampa for the playoffs. Would you go? Fuck no. Why I don't care how much it is. I don't care how cheap it is. It doesn't matter. Why would I go down to away from my home to go watch this Eagles team play football? Like they have not represented this city in any way. They've all they've done is disappoint me pretty much all season long. So why in God's name would I go down there? I don't see the reason. And, I see the same thing with these people calling for this or that. I mean, I'm disgusted that I sat there on Saturday night and rooted for the Cowboys to win that game because we might get the 2 seed. Like, I was literally like, dude, we're going to take care of business against the Cardinals. We're going to beat the Giants. We'll get the 2 seed. The Seahawks or somebody like that's going to come to town. We'll take care of business. And then someone else has to come to Philly and play us. It doesn't matter who. But we're at home. We'll take care of business. And that's just not the case, dude. That is just
not the case.
That is not the case. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.